Check, check. Check. Still a little loud. Ain't it? Test, test. I don't know what in the fuck is going on here with my camera. I don't know. This is all fucking janky now. I don't know. Whatever. Dave Oz, Human F Bean, Fred Knotts. Cheers to you, fellas. I hope I find you well. Yeah, probably still. Fucker's still. Is that mic a little too hot? I'm gonna be fucking. You guys know how I am. I'll start fucking cackling and I'll be blowing out your eardrums. Or when I get all excited. So happy Friday to you guys. Fred says Trump's latest fuck up attacking the TSA union. It's like he wants a plane disaster. Motherfucker's completely fucking nuts. I don't know what to say. I'm in the same. Not much has changed for me. I don't know what to say. Like, when do we? I don't know what to say. I mean, how long before he does order people to start being shot? Before he starts ordering Americans to be fucking shot? Well, you guys probably heard the one fucking deal wanting them to, Trump asking if we could just fucking shoot protesters in the legs. American protesters. Just shoot them in the leg or something to get them out of there. Teach them a lesson. Shoot them in the leg. I can't even remember after yesterday. I was a little exhausted yesterday and today. Cheers to you, A-Bear. Happy Friday, sister. Early this morning, I had gotten up. I don't know. I crashed out early last night. And then so I was up early, like, I don't know, 1:30 or something this morning. And that was pretty much when I got up. And then I took a late nap again, of course. And now I don't know what to think. Either I'm going to wake up or I'm not. So I don't know what all I may have missed news-wise or from. I seen that Trump did an Oval Office presser again today, but I didn't watch any of it, not even 2 seconds of it. I mean, he's probably just going to be doing that every day or every couple couple times a week, I'm assuming, just fucking random president from the Oval Office, no doubt, no less. It's fucking crazy. Hey Bear, you took a digger? I didn't know that. You just slipped and fell recently? Maybe you said I thought maybe I did see you talking about it, but I didn't know if it was something that had happened to you before. No, I know, sister. I don't look good at all. I have more luggage than LAX. More bags under my eyes than LAX. Yeah, I feel it too. I know. Well, I have gotten some sleep. I haven't woke up. It's like I get, hey Bear, I don't fucking sleep worth a shit until I get completely exhausted, and I know that's not healthy. And I don't know what else to do about it because I don't get into that REM sleep long enough. I don't believe. I've watched and read so much shit on it. And recently, the stuff that I just read, made me feel a little bit better. I thought you had to have 2 to 3 hours of REM sleep in a row. This last study I seen said if you get into that REM sleep, you're only there for even 20 minutes, and you wake up, or you get out of it and you roll around and you go right back to sleep and you get in it, as long as you get enough of that time throughout the night. But I still don't think I do often enough. Oh yeah, right on. A Bear says 2 months ago. She didn't talk about much because people love fucking chuds like getting off on our pain and mishaps. Oh yeah, Human. Now that you met Human, says he also thinks that he is doing very well with Russia. I did see that. I think it was today, or was it last night, that he said that he'd rather deal with Russia than Ukraine. So I guess he's back in Russia now. He said Ukraine was too hard to deal with and that he'd rather deal with Russia instead. I don't get how there's even a fucking choice. I don't get how he thinks that it's an either or type of thing. I mean, why would the option of helping Russia ever be on the table? Oh yeah, that's right, because we're dealing with Donald Trump. One of the worst Americans in our history. Not one of the worst presidents. That's a given. One of the worst Americans in our history. Sure, did he go out and start like a Charles Manson family type cult? No, not quite. Is he responsible for people dying and being hurt? Fucking A. Jesus Christ, Bear. Sorry, I didn't mean to curse at you. That shit stresses me out. A friend of ours just fractured her knee walking back into work and slipped on the ice. I'm so worried about Mrs. V all the time because she's so tiny like you, Bear, and then the fucking dogs are together, they outweigh her by a ton. And they're just always under her feet, and she won't get on them enough about it. Yes, I think Trump also said that Putin is a good guy and he's doing great things. He's done some great things. It's just fucking disgusting. I don't even know. I can't even hardly stand to even fucking. I don't know how I went through that last presser as far as I did. Jay, cheers to you, my brother. Happy Friday. Jay says today he threatened Russia with sanctions and tariffs because they have been attacking people at random. Not even close to military targets. Like they have for the last 3 years. Yeah. Well, and I did hear him say that, you know, Hamas would have never did their October 7th attack. Russia would have never invaded Ukraine. We all know that's bullshit. I mean, he does. Jesus fucking Christ, you guys. It's sick. These people that are propping him up are just they have their own personal agenda, and it's nothing about the goal, or their agenda is nothing more than fucking money and power. I don't know. I ask you guys often, am I that fucking naive, or am I just that ignorant, or like, am I just not like a fucking survivor or someone that thrives because I can't understand putting money and power above fellow humans? I don't know. Yeah, Jay says they upped their attacks the night after Russia cut Ukraine's intel. Oh, after Trump cut their intel, right. Yes. Freudian slip. Jay, you know me, man. I won't have much to do with any of that bullshit about fucking, too crazy, wacky conspiracies. We really, I mean, why? We don't need to, Trump is obviously a real fuck up and does not have America's interest at heart in any way, shape, or form. But I kind of thought I would draw the line. I didn't even think I would ever hear such a thing as Trump being a fucking a Russian asset. Maybe not like contractually, or maybe it was never a handshake or some backroom deal with Putin that Trump made, but Trump is clearly a Russian asset in all that he does. And, maybe I've never thought Trump was very smart. I don't. I still don't. There's no way, like, any of this crazy bullshit that's going on, all these insane ideas and gutting our institutions, that's all coming from the Project 2025 folks, right? I mean, Trump isn't focused enough. He doesn't think deeply enough. Isn't capable of thinking deep enough to conceive these kinds of fucking insane plans, is he? Yeah, he's a useful idiot, for sure. Hey Bear says, I was thinking about Trump's State of the Union, and he said something at the time I thought was oddly apt for him. It was to the effect of, nothing I can do would please the D's. Yeah, he said they won't cheer for anything I do, or something like that. Yeah, I streamed that address to Congress. I figured I'd go back and watch and listen to some stuff. It's just, yeesh. I've had enough at times. Yeah, you can play a narcissist. Exactly, Jay. You just fucking feed the ego, right? Tell the fucking shit sack what he wants to hear. I still, if we can, I don't know. I mean, we're only 47 days in or something like that. And it's like all this shit's going down. It's like, and I already feel like I'm almost starting to become desensitized to it. And I allowed myself to consider that maybe this is the worst it'll get. Like, maybe our economy will get terrible, and there'll be a lot of misery and deaths and all that kind of stuff, financial ruin. But like we already see that coming and happening, and so I guess my thoughts are now on, are we able to preserve our democracy, you know? I don't think that I can't be sure about anything anymore, but it still seems very difficult or hard to imagine somehow Trump and the Vance team being able to hold on to power in illegal ways. I don't know. I don't know if how. I mean, I would not put anything past the Republicans, right? For sure. I'm not sure if they're to that point. I wouldn't put it past them if that's what happens, but none of the Trumpers want Vance. It's a matter of how is he going to be able to hold on to power after Trump's term. And still, there's so much up in the air, right? Like, it's going to be really pretty deflating if we don't make some sort of progress in 2026. But, I mean, I'm still just kind of trying to prepare for Trump being in office through the 2028 elections, right? Jay says he wanted to be cheered for trolling half the nation for the last... Yeah. Be the people he has been trolling. This is why a leader has to lead from the middle. Yeah, he's... without a doubt, it's his fucking MAGA cult base against the rest of America. And he doesn't shy away at all from making it just that clear. A Bear says FWIW, which I'll have to figure out what that is. Mr. Bear and I have different views on this. He is geared for institutional change. I am geared for community change. Life is always interesting here. Sure. A Bear says we both have merits and flaws for our cases. Of course. Yeah, I mean, I can see me being, and this isn't, pragmatic isn't a word I would use to describe myself very often, but, you know, just talking with some of you folks over the years, I've seriously learned a little bit more about my political position, right? Like, I guess for a while I would always just said, you know, I'm a hardcore lib, whatever, you know. Fuck the man, all that shit. The whole system's screwed. But then, you know, when you break it down to your home, it's like most folks are pretty conservative in their ideals, right? Like, you know, not that Republicans are truly fiscal conservatives. I'm just saying their supposed ideology, you know. I think that's how most of us are, but I think then maybe, like what A Bear says, her being a lefty, of course, thankfully, it's I think a lot of us, even though we may be conservative in how we live our lives at home personally, right, with our finances, we're certainly thankfully more liberal in community action and not being afraid to give a part of whatever it is, our time, our taxes, you know, goodwill, whatever. I mean, it doesn't, until somebody tells me to shut the fuck up, I guess I should just keep hammering down on this. Like, it doesn't matter how well I would do, but maybe, and I'm just one person, so maybe everybody doesn't think like this, like around me. I don't see, even if I totally disagree with the fucking Trumper up the road there, I mean, it's not helping me or my community if he's down and out or if they're down and out, right? I got brand new strings on my acoustic guitar right next to me, but it doesn't pick up on this mic very well. Yeah, I don't know if you caught how much of my last stream you caught, A-Bear, but I talked a little bit about my kid that works for the NSA, and he finally switched companies. He had been with the same company since he finished his schooling in the Navy. And so, like, he worked with under that same company while he was enlisted for, I don't know, 3.5 years or so, and then I don't know how long he's been out now. I'd have to start doing math. He worked for that same company for 3-4 years, however long he's been out. And he just switched companies. Still all the same work. Still working for subcontractor for the NSA. Is what sucked is right around the time he was gonna switch jobs late in the fall of last year, because the company he had worked for said, yeah, you're probably on your way out purely because of just budgeting reasons. But he had just bought this house over there, and yeah. I never made him feel like I didn't understand his concern. But it's like sitting there talking to him with Mrs. V that day on the phone, and he was stressed. And, I'm not that terrible of a dad, but he also has grown up with me, so he can take it, and he's probably semi-subconsciously prepared for anything I might say or how cold I might be. But it's just like, for fuck's sake, kid, you got, he's 28, or be 28 in a couple weeks. And he has, the only experience he has from the time he graduated high school is just working for the government. It's like, dude, you don't have anything to worry about. You will always be able to find a job. And especially like if he keeps his security clearance up, right? Which he continues to improve on that. So yeah, I guess I think about him and relate that to all these federal employees that have been canned. And Jay says only Republicans can stop Republicans from doing a 180 on cheaper groceries and no new wars. They just can't hear it from anyone else. Yeah, right. Well, that's what we've seen, Jay, is as soon as Trump starts taking on these policies that may make sense, like investing in the U.S. and or decide not to follow through with fucking tariffs. A-Bear says, I think you may be wrong about that TV, and I hate to say that. Well, I understand what you're saying. Like, nothing is for sure, right? We can't take anything for granted, but, I mean, he didn't spend a bunch of, like, after basic training, I think he was only in Pensacola for schooling for about 6 or 8 months, but, no, I think I know what you're saying, like, you can never be sure, right? But he really is pretty. He's got a pretty diverse education as far as with what he's doing, and I don't even know all what he's doing, right? Like, because I dealt with my aunt who was she retired as a chief petty officer on a flagship. That's a pretty fucking big deal, and so I got used to not pressing her, right? If things didn't add up or I didn't get my question answered. Because I don't know what all they're up to necessarily. A-Bear says, here's the deal. For as long as I can remember, and I am ancient, DC runs on contractors. Yeah, they do. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's, yeah, who he works for. It's like, I, A-Bear, a lot of folks don't realize, I think, especially Trumpers, right, don't realize that when you have like the NSA, it's like half of those motherfuckers at least are civilians. It's not like these are enlisted folks. Oh yeah, yeah. Benefits for real government employees are crazy good, right? And that's what I told him. And as you probably know, and I don't know how long, much longer it is for him, but like even after a dishonorable discharge or whatever, an honorable discharge, you can they can still call you up for up to 2 years, 3 years, something like that. I don't know. But when this company change happened, I'm like, Trey, you could just go back and talk to folks and see where it is you could, if you re-enlisted, what exactly options, how much control you would have. Because certainly, like, after that 4 years, and especially in, like, the Navy or the Air Force, not to diss on the Marines or the Army, but whatever. I'll just move on. Especially in the Navy or the Air Force, it's like, after your first 4 years, it's like things really change where you're able to have a lot more influence, I guess I should say, not maybe necessarily say on where you may be going and spending your time, but it's not like just, here's your order, son, Yeah, he is a contractor, yep. Yes. Yes, tens of thousands. Yeah, he's ex-military. Yeah, that's how he got started, A-Bear, was in the Navy. I mean, he wanted to be a nurse, and you know how it is. They find where you're going to best benefit the country, and he has an astounding memory. Like, he is something else with numbers. It's ridiculous. And so they said, well, you're going to go to work for the NSA. Or you're going to go, while he was in the Navy, he was working as, and you probably know this maybe even better than me, A-Bear. When he was in the Navy, he worked every day. He punched in and out, or not punched in and out, but right, like was 9 to 5 or 8 to 5, right? And he was subject to this private or this civilian contractor's work plan, right, or work schedule. I mean, it wasn't like he took direction from them in a sense of whatever needed to be done, and then he went to work for those same folks as soon as he left the Navy, and he's worked for them. So he had spent, I don't know, at least 8 years working for working with and for these same folks. And he's traveled all over. He's been to Japan a couple times. He's been to Hawaii and all over the United States. He's been to Germany. Could I milk his nipples? I don't know that movie. Yeah, I mean, he's I don't know how we got on that. Just, I guess, because the federal employees thing. Yeah, he don't have no like super important job that there isn't a lot of other folks doing. But like I was saying, telling him, I think he's always going to be able to find work. Even though, like you said, most of it is civilian contractors doing the work for the federal government, it's not going to end. I mean, even under Trump, he's just not going to be able to start. I mean, especially when people, because you guys know, Trump's a fucking, if anything, he certainly is about keeping an eye on folks and knowing what they're up to. So I can't see there being many cuts in intel other than folks that are working on our behalf against Russia and shit like that. Meet the Falkers. Fookers. See that, A-Bear? I think I'm waking up. I bet you my eyes look better than they did when I started this stream. Maybe. I'm very proud of that kid, though. I was so heavily influenced by my aunt, who's only 5 years older than me. I was just not that type to go into the service. For one, I had completely wrong idea about what it was like in the service, and certainly, and right around the time I would have went, like in '88, I graduated high school. So if I had enlisted then, huge changes were being made, right? But I had heard so many fucking horror stories from like, my friends' parents and stuff that had served, and it's like, holy fuck, I don't want to fucking live on a goddamn ship for a year. Fuck that. Get an ice face mask? No, I don't look any better yet. I can feel it though. I hate that, like when they just get so puffy, I feel like I'm like squinting through fucking slots. I've thought about putting ice on my eyeballs. Do cucumbers really work, A-Bear? And like, how often do I have to do it? And for how long? I'm not like, I've never thought of myself as vain, but maybe I am. I mean, like, look at the size of my fucking nose. My ears, you know what I'm saying? But those bags under my eyes fucking... they're tearing up my self-esteem. So thanks to everybody coming by. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I had such a long, late nap that I'm like, screw it. I'm going to get up in the studio and get set up to at least jam or do some recording and stuff later. But maybe I'll get on and do a stream and yap with everybody for a minute. So hit that thumbs up or down, share with those you love and those you don't. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do that. Ring the all bell. It's potluck. You might get my dumb ass sitting here doing my let me tell you about my kid spiel, or might be doing politics. You might hear me fucking ranting. Maybe some high-speed chases, some natural disasters, some protest streams. Maybe a little music. An ice mask, really? You mean like a hockey mask, or like is there something, some sort of you talking about like ice? Wonder if that tomfoolery already does. I probably should have did this as a StreamYard. I got to get better in the habit of that. Liberal Dan was telling me that I can set up a phone number through my computer, through Google Call or something like that. I don't know. I would love to be able. I don't know if I have to have some special hardware though, or not. I don't know. It's odd. I would love to be able to just take phone calls without putting out my personal phone number. I thought about even looking into the Mint Mobile thing for $15. And I mean, I guess that that phone number would be, the phone would be off other than when I would be streaming, I guess. Oh, it just seems weird, like it'd be really hard to avoid a lot of spam calls. So there you see we have 605 days, 1 hour, 53 minutes, and 42 seconds until the midterm elections in November 3rd, 2026. Yeah, November 3rd. All I wanna do is chew some gum. I got a feeling I'm not the only one. Hey Bear, if you're still with me, what are you using? Are you using some? What all are you using to do your videos? Are you just like doing using an AI image producer or something for like the stills, and then putting them into your video maker or whatever, and adding the music and all that? A Bear says, "Don't die on air, but if you do, if you do go, let it be with this shameless plug." Bill, what's up, brother? Did SpaceX blow another fucking 200,000 gazillion dollar fucking rocket? Sorry, I haven't had new strings on that acoustic in a while. I don't change it very often. I still got a brand new set. I thought I only had one left, and I'm like, all right, I got to get new strings on that damn thing, even though I just don't play it very often. And I dug in there, and I'm like, fuck, I got two brand new sets. Just recently, Bill, or has he been gone for a while? I seen some, I don't know, Bill, I watched some fucking, you and like, I don't know how many punk docs and different stuff Putin has suggested, but I watched one like this behind the insider scenes fucking party thing. And Tiny Tim was he was a rock star among those fucking hippies, like, you know, the Crosby, Stills, Nash type crowd, right? Out in the valleys and stuff back in the day. I had no idea that he was that, just like that. He was the life of the party, and a lot of times crazy. Oh, Human says in the late 90s? Holy shit. Yeah, I'm way behind the times, ain't I? A-Bear says he passed in Greenfield, Massachusetts. Holy shit. Bill says it was years ago he died, but the crowd was eating it up, thought it was part of his routine. Oh my God. Why am I laughing? Holy shit, that would be fucked up. Can you imagine? His fucking stage manager and shit had to know that wasn't part of his routine, right? How long did they let him roll around out there? A-Bear says she's seen Tiny Tim opening for early wrestlers like Andre the Giant. So you, A-Bear, you've been to like those big time wrestling things? I went to one as a kid. Jay says acoustic guitars force you to pay more attention to the chords. They're great for songwriting because you can't fake a good chord change. Yeah, I agree, Jay. Like, I always avoid it, or not avoid it, but like, you know, I'm like, okay, I want to play guitar. And it's, I don't know, it's the weirdest times, right? That all of a sudden I want to, Or it's like if I decide fuck it and I just pick up the acoustic real quick, I realize how much I love the sound of it. Yeah, I agree, dude. Honestly, Jay, that's kind of why I've been fucking seeking a bass or having to, I gotta get my shit together and get a bass. I feel like I would use a bass guitar to write a lot more than like my electric guitar. Like, I don't know that I can't say that it's never, but it's not very often that I will write music on my electric guitar in a clean setting, right? Like I probably write all my heavy or, rock and roll stuff on my electric guitar because I have, some sort of effects. Oh, A Bear says she had an uncle who was a cop and got freebie ticks. I would have loved to have seen Andre the Giant. I only went to one wrestling gig and I was like 14. It was just this local fucking skating rink, man. There was like, I don't know. It wasn't a lot of people, but it's like they had Dusty Rhodes and Michael Hayes, so that was neat as hell. The Samoan Twins, I think Buzz Sawyer and Kabuki were like the big names. A-Bear says she also seen Ice Capades thanks to him. A-Bear, I roaded 3 professional shows, and that was Willie Nelson, or I was a quick hire or whatever for the Stagehands Union. I wasn't part of the union, just when they would need extra folks, they would have one of their union members, bring in a friend or a family member or whatever. So I got to do Willie Nelson, Marilyn Manson, and Sesame Street Live. Sesame Street Live was different. I think that took us longer to break all that shit down than it did the Manson show. Yeah, Jay, this guitar's such a piece of shit, but holy crap, man. I'm just blown away. Like, I put the strings on, not last night, the night before, and I started playing it, and it almost sounded rattly. Because I was so fucking, I hadn't heard clean strings on it in forever. All right, people filing in. I'll probably be at this for a minute. Just sitting and yapping about whatever it is that's on your folks' mind or whatever's on my mind. I'm going to share a link with you guys. I like this guy. I just subbed to him last night. I think I'd seen him before, but he's pretty mellow. He was, and he's at least not a Trumper, but
you had to blow up the Twin Towers. Like you don't, the World Trade Center, it was right there. It was
I listened to him for a little bit last night, and then he was like, got onto the whole Mandela effect thing. And he's like, I can't believe I fell for it. I'm like, dude, you seem completely fucking rational and calm. And it's like, why would you buy into shit before fucking making sure that you understood or gathered all the information you possibly could on? Anyways, oops, I went to the post that did not post. I don't know. In the middle of the night, I swear, I really enjoy and appreciate folks like this guy. I'm such a dick, though. Like, he didn't have the most intelligent chatters, but he's pretty normal, straightforward dude. I just, whatever. I guess we all get distracted or fucking hung up on some stuff. Putin, what's up, brother? Cheers to you and happy Friday. Macaroni in the house. Good to see you, brother. Happy Friday. A-Bear says, TV, I spent time with those peeps. Such an odd life it is. Closest thing I'll ever see to gypsies. Right on. Your time is gonna come. Mama, yeah. If I can brag for just a minute, it is going to be scheduled, supposed to be 66 degrees next Friday and 65 next Saturday. And we're going to be in the 40s and 50s all through the week before that. Guess who's happy? We have 13 hours and 37 minutes and 38 seconds until the first day of spring. Though this is going to be, I tell you, I don't know, I guess I never paid so much attention to it before, but I feel like this shit's, when it fucking happens lately, it just happens quick. We had an extremely normal winter this year here in West Michigan, which I'm thankful for. It sucks dealing with the cold, but like it got cold plenty of times, real cold. And we had plenty of snow, and fuck, it rained like hell the last 2 days with all the snow we had on the ground melting. All that's good stuff to me. A-Bear, have I ever told you how much I love you, sister? Bunches. Big old bear hug for A-Bear. Tell Mr. Bear thank you for all that he's done to make you who you are. Help make you who you are. Thank Mr. A-Bear for sharing you with us. Seriously. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do the stream. I feel like I'm like really mellow and I could get into my feels tonight. A-Bear's such a keeper. You know, I thought about it earlier. It's like, man, I really appreciate the folks that just aren't afraid to fucking, who have always been like, when I get too out of hand or whatever, like, what the fuck are you talking about, TV? Means a lot. Bill shared it on his Blue Sky. Max says the new norm there is no snow. I don't get too worked up about it, Mac. But obviously, as far north as I am, because we can have fucking really oddball winter. Like, I remember at least two, like, holiday seasons where it was in the fucking low 60s, or whatever, mid 60s for a day or two. And that's just kind of fluky shit, right? But like the last couple, like for the last 4 or 5 years, other than this year, and I understand we have weird cycles, but it's like it was stupid warm or ridiculously, wet, or just warm and dry, or warm or extremely cold but dry. Like I think it was 3 years ago we had fucking jack shit for snow. And it's like living on the lakeshore in West Michigan, you're getting snow normally no matter what. You might not get tons. I don't know I forget what our average here is. 80 some inches or something a year. Bill says he's heading over to Pop's house. Your granddaughter, Bill? Yeah, it must be. I was thinking, well, his daughter, that he wouldn't. So Bill's granddaughter just bought great grandpa some raised beds and a whole bunch of seeds. That's good stuff, Bill. That's funny. It's funny. I tell you, man. I crack up. I think about what a fucking hardcore bastard I still am, I guess, in some ways. Us good men are decent men and our fucking daughters and granddaughters, right? And of course our sons and grandsons, but sometimes I wonder, like, am I a fucking misogynist asshole because I somehow focus more, like I just feel like the boys, if I don't even think about it, honestly, like there's just sort of this subconscious acceptance that they're going to be fine. And not that the girls aren't capable of taking care of themselves, quite, to be honest. Look, I know it's probably a little bit fucking shallow and simplifying things, but for fuck's sake, man. I don't know. Women are pretty creative, strong, intelligent. I mean, they bring a lot of things together that I don't see a lot of men bring together, and that's not bashing on us. It's just, I think we do our best. We do what we do our best. I think men are just like primal, right? Oh, Bill says no. His niece, my sister said, I gotcha. They figured the raised containers would be easier on his back. He keeps a pretty nice backyard at 88. Oh yeah, for sure. So they're going to be where they're going to be high enough where he doesn't have to bend down Bill, like 4 or 5 feet up, raised up. Yeah, for sure, brother. I tell you what, Bill, I don't know what it was. About 10 years ago, I was having a lot of issues with my knees where when I would bend down, and I'm 54 now, so literally in my mid 40s, which is pretty fucking young, I would get down, and if I stayed down for like a minute or longer, I was reaching for something to pull myself back up straight because my knees are so bad. I don't know what the fuck that was all about. Thankfully, that's gone away, but Man, dude, if I bend over now, it doesn't matter how long I'm bent over for. Like, if I squat down and bend over, like dealing with the fire, holy fuck. I gotta put my hand on my back to fucking straighten out. I know I have a fucking hernia. I know I do. I know I've had one for probably 10 fucking years, unfortunately. Yep. Jay says gardening's good therapy, and we're going to need it. We're going to need the food and the therapy, brother, right? Yeah, am I right? Yeah, I have to go through my DVDs. I've really slacked lately, but I have some pretty cool videos of our massive gardens back when we first got here, and I had a lot more energy and more kids at home to feed, I guess. All right, you guys, it's about that time for TV to give his bladder a break. Here is the latest. I re-recorded the rhythm tracks finally, the rhythm guitar tracks finally. Here's the latest version of my untitled track. I'll be right back. There can be no denying that the windows shake 'em down and the blackbird flying. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm sounds so stupid to say. When I first came up with that last riff, I was like, God damn it, this sounds familiar. I don't know, it just reminds me a lot of Led Zepp's fucking, I can't remember the tune now. I can't play it either because I don't know what the fuck Jimmy Page's problem is, but like Led Zepp, the Beatles, and AC/DC, you just, like most songs, you can, it'll say copyright claim, video cannot be monetized, but it doesn't affect your channel at all, right? But with Zapp or the Beatles, nobody can see the fucking video until you remove that shit. It's weird. There's some other songs too, random songs like 3 a.m. I'm a little envious of you left coasters. Even though I'm left coast, West Michigan, left coast Michigan. The weather has broke nicely. It was cold as fuck a week ago. I think whenever it was 2 weeks ago or whatever, the end of February, it got down to 0 again one night. Yeah, I've already been planning my shit out, Jay. Like, I've even considered getting a B box. In the past, I had done a huge strip, probably 4 feet wide, and maybe, I don't know, probably 20, 25 feet long on the border, outside border, one edge of my garden with just all wildflowers. And most of them were perennials, but they didn't last forever. They had come back for quite a few years, or a lot of them, but every year there would be less and less. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm losing my voice all of a sudden. But I was thinking about doing, like I've just seen all kinds of different garden setups, right? But doing mounds, doing maybe 2-3 foot round mounds with flowers right dead center, or, you know, in the middle of my veggie rows. You gotta have a healthy garden, right? You gotta make sure that. And my problem here is I have all these oak leaves, and so it makes, no matter what, like I always have to amend my soil with lime because it's very, 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 very bitter, or acidic, I guess as you should say, with the oak leaves. I mean, we always try and blow as many out as possible, but no matter what, when you're turning the soil. I mean, we always try and blow as many out as possible, but Love me some Led Zeppelin. So was Al Green? Was that the guy that got booted from the? Joint session of Congress Tuesday night? I don't know. It's strange. I see a lot of, not a lot. I see too many liberal streamers or YouTube chants that are like beating up on Democrat elected officials. And look, I'm not defending. I struggle to judge folks that, like, we have to pick and choose our battles, right? We can't fucking, I mean, we could. I don't know that it's going to hurt or not, but it seems to me like there's a better chance of it hurting than helping if we just fucking rant or rave about every fucking little fuck up that Trump does, whether we're, justified in it or not. I'm just saying we have to consider, we have to pick and choose our battles, I guess, right? I know it seems shitty, like, well, you can't fight on every front. If you don't have the manpower or whatever, the ammunition to fight on every front, you can't fight on every front. Jay says, yep, and censured, blaming the 10 centrist Democrats who managed to get elected in areas where Trump won. Right. Yeah, Bill says Al Green made good trouble. That's what it seems like to me. I mean, yeah, censure doesn't do anything anywho. Right. Right, and that's what it seems like to me is like, well, I see these supposedly some folks not standing up for Al Green, and it's like I can go either way on it, like I feel like that's kind of what I've been hanging on lately. Like, when do we know that it's time to do what Al Green did? Probably, like, this is the time, right? Like, I don't have any ill feelings about what he did at all. You know what I mean? Sure, it'd be super easy to go say, hey, you know what? We are members of the United States Congress, and no matter how justified we are in being completely fucking, irate about this shit, and for good reason, again, justified, it's not there. It doesn't accomplish anything. Kind of like what I was just saying about picking and choosing our battles, but it's very, I can't criticize the guy for doing that. I mean, he's frustrated and feels completely without options, as I think a lot of us, I do. I don't know what to fucking do as I sit here anymore, I mean, it's like waiting until the midterm elections and I'm going to be out doing whatever I can locally. I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make, but it's got to be better than not doing anything. Bill says, was he kicked off committees? He probably was if he was censured, right? I just couldn't read or watch any of that part. it benefits Al that they are talking about it, right? And Bill says every single Dem should have walked out, right? You know, Bill, I caught your comment while we were streaming that night, and you said that it should be one at a time now. One Dem at a time, do the same goddamn thing. Every time Trump starts to open his mouth, another Dem stand up and, disrupt it. And I didn't say so at the time, but yeah, I agree. I don't see what it would have hurt. I mean, it's a non-violent protest, right? It's protesting in the most aggressive way that they can without violence. Without just being completely disgusting like the GOP is or whatever. I mean, what did that fucking dumbass Marjorie Taylor Greene do during Biden's address to Congress? Yeah, Bill says instead they sat for the 13-year-old kid, and right-wing media and trolls have amplified that 10 times 1,000. Yep. Oh, Jay says they didn't kick him off, but the right wing wants it. I assumed they would. Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's right. Yeah, I misspoke. I wasn't thinking that all the way through this. So the Democrats would decide what committees he might be on. Yeah, and they didn't censure. Right. And Jay, to my, comment, Jay says they didn't censure Marjorie Taylor Greene for her fucking outburst during Biden's address to Congress. No, and yeah, not much will be getting. Bill says not much will be getting done in Congress, anyways. Well, they've had the House for since 22 or whatever, January of 23, and we are 6 days now. Well, it'll be midnight. Will be exactly 7 days or 6 days, 7 days until yes. So we're about 7 days, 1 hour and 10 minutes away from the budget deadline. I don't know how close they are on it. Probably no closer than they were earlier in the week. No, I think, well, we've seen, to Bill's point, too, not much will be getting done in Congress anyways, is we've seen that Trump is trying to govern or, trying to lead through executive order, and that only goes so far. No matter whether he has, the legal rights to enact some of these EOs that he's doing, or they're going to get hung up in court and then knocked down anyways, Jay says MAGA Mike can remove him from committee, but the Democrats can just put him back. I see. Yeah. Yeah, Bill says March called Biden a liar for saying they wanted to cut Social Security and Medicaid and made them look foolish. Yet here we are. Yep. Was that $880 billion cut to Medicaid? There can be no denying. Yeah, it's just so fucking disgusting. Like, there's just zero pushback from any Republicans anymore on Trump about any of this. Like, the just, fuck, I don't know if it was the Judiciary Committee that Jordan was heading up the other day, was chairing the other day. Holy fuck, man. God damn it, that dude is a fucking really. Like, I have to believe these Republican officials figure that no matter how bad it gets, like, even if they go against Trump, they're all right as long as they're not planning on running for office again. You know what I mean? Like, they've already benefited from all the bullshit that Trump has done, and so they don't care. Like, whether it's the, they're going to fucking be a part of investing in crypto after Trump kind of, it's, I don't have the right words for it, but it's kind of an insider trading thing in a sense, right? Like, Trump knows, I mean, everybody knows that as soon as a president, no matter who it is, Trump or not, starts commenting on some sort of stock, that it's going to affect it, good or bad. I mean, these motherfuckers can have some shit said and have it go through the roof, like this XRP, sell early, and then by the end of the day, it's fucking tanked again, or starting to tank, and then rebuy more. It's fucking crazy. Like, they can prepare ahead of time for the fucking statements, right? Yeah, Jay says the Constitution requires representatives to put their name on those spending cuts. TV2 Live Trans. Hello and goodbye to you, Pumpkin. Even though we don't know who you are in real life, TV2 Live Trans, it doesn't matter. I mean, I just wanted to let you know and remind you that your obsession says a lot. You know what I mean? Like, how sad must you be that this is how you're going to spend your Friday night? Anyways, that's probably just Lala. La 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 la. She may be dumb, but she's not a dweeb. She's just a sucker with no self-esteem. Oh, hey, yeah, yeah. Then she says I should stick up for myself, but I know. The more you suffer, the more it shows you really care. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. All right. It's almost 11 o'clock. 90-minute stream. That's good enough. I could sit and yap forever and ever, but I think I'm going to fuck off and do some recording. Yeah, who has TDS more than Trumpers? I mean, look, if you think the guy that should be president is also like some sort of godlike entity, then yeah, you probably have Trump derangement syndrome. Bill says he heard Russia literally try to cavalry charge Ukraine. Might be propaganda, but they said they have video. What, with like horses, you mean? Or are they just like... Bill, I just heard some really crazy shit like they were, well, Stalin-era tanks, but motorcycle raids or attacks? Russian soldiers on motorcycles? That's just fucking crazy. So I didn't look into that. I didn't see any video. I don't know if maybe it was on another live stream that I heard the host commenting on that. Yeah, I feel like I'm rambling anyways, Bill. So I'm gonna fucking get baked, and yeah, I'm probably gonna get it. I'm starting to wake up. Like I said, I had a late nap, and I'm probably gonna be up for a while, so I might as well be productive. Oh, they're using mules to move supplies. Yeah, I need to get into that more, like exactly how, how much difference what the EU is doing for Ukraine is going to help. And honestly, I don't know that there's even going to be how much information I can gather that would really be able to stand on and, see as solid information. So, because honestly, it's very... You can't get information out of Russia, and it's not always great coming out of Ukraine. And Bill says, horses, men mounted on them. I don't even know how they trained soldiers on horses so fast. A sad comic, yeah, sending jockeys. Yeah, I don't know what to think. I don't know how bad it really... I mean, obviously, it's not good. It doesn't help Ukraine with not getting U.S. aid. Is it a deal? I mean, does it just completely change and negate all hope for Ukraine? I would have to think not. Like, how could... I mean, are we really... I mean, even if we were supplying half of what Ukraine was getting, and the EU and other countries are supplying the other half, how much more can Russia sustain, right? Like, they don't have anybody fucking continuing to feed them aid and ammunition, do they? I mean, I don't know how. I said this the other night. Like, how much is China going to put? Because right now, China. Russia is like a fucking dependent, right, of China's. How much is Xi going to put up with that? It's not like they're not having their own economic struggles. Not that the government of China is, falling short on military or money to invest in the military, or don't have a pretty fucking massive military and some pretty fucking substantial update, modern equipment. But how long is Xi gonna... I mean, I don't know what the exchange is there. You know, I know that Russia has a lot of natural gas and whatnot that they could probably offer China, and I don't know. Um, I do not know. I mean, either it is exactly what we see, and Russia is on the brink, or we're completely fooled, and Russia is going to be able to maintain for years at this rate. I don't know. Democrats are Satanists, says MAGA has Facebook groups fronting as anti-Trump to collect Democrats' information and report them to child. So they're swatting them. Is that what you're saying, dickweed? That'll go pretty far. You know, all that shit doesn't, it's not like it's all approved by Trump and he's going to go, yeah, we got to get those sons of bitches. It's all just local law enforcement that are going to go, this is a crock of fucking shit. You realize that, don't you, Dave and Callie? Fucking idiot. That's insane. You're a fucking idiot. Do you realize what a fucking absolute coward douchebag you are? Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, that's like one of the weakest troll comments I've ever seen. It's insane. All right, Jay, Bill, I appreciate you fellas. Be good. Everybody else that stopped by, the lovely, incredible Mrs. Abear, and Putin was here, and Human, and Fred, and Dave Oz, and I may have missed some. But anyways, I appreciate you guys. You'll see me soon, for sure, all right? Peace and love, TV2 out.